بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. دار البلاغ للإنتاج والتوزيع تقدم
اللهم انفعنا وارفعنا بالقرآن العظيم الذي أيدت سلطانه وقلت يا أعز من قائل سبحانه فإذا قرأناه فاتبع قرآنه ثم إن علينا بيانه أحسن.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. دار البلاغ للإنتاج والتوزيع تقدم
اللهم انفعنا وارفعنا بالقرآن العظيم الذي أيدت سلطانه وقلت يا أعز من قائل سبحانه فإذا قرأناه فاتبع قرآنه ثم إن علينا بيانه أحسن كتبك نظاما وأفصحها كلاما وأبينها حلالا وحراما ظاهر البرهان.
من أحب البقاع إلى نفس الحبيب محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، ومن أرض عمتها بركة دعاء الخليل عليه السلام، ومن داخل أروقة المسجد الحرام، ننقلكم عبر موجات هذا الإصدار أمام بيت الله الحرام لتستمعون إلى الصوت المميز والقراءة المميزة
What? No, she goes. Okay. All right.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We have a group with us that's joining us today from St. Mark's. And they're gonna be watching us make a prayer. Actual prayer doesn't come in for another hour plus, so we're gonna do an example of the prayer and an example of the calling to prayer. So I was just, at this time, what we normally do as we come in for prayer and get ready to prepare for prayer, it would usually start with a call to prayer. So Ahmed,
Yeah.
I was hoping maybe you can call what is called like an adhan, and that's like a call to prayer. This is not that actually. This is a call. This is like a sample, like a demonstration of the call to prayer. And afterwards, Ali. Yes, then we're going to break into a wudu, and Ali can take a group of males to go down and instruct them how to do the wudu. Ali, you can do that. And Asia can take a group of ladies down and get ready to prepare for prayer, which is called wudu, which is what you take before prayer. And we're gonna limit the youngsters from like going up and down right now. So they've already performed it. So we're just gonna have a couple of the older teenagers go down and prepare for prayer right now. So are there more people you're expecting? Pretty good. Okay. So as we can begin now with the call to prayer, and then if we can just respectfully be quiet and listen, and then we can afterwards we can break up into the groups and begin to the process, and then we'll go into a question and answer after we perform. After we come back from performing the wudu, we'll come back and actually do like a shortened prayer, and we'll break into a question and answer after. So again, welcome. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
No, what?
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
No,
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله
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 أشهد أن محمدا رسول 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 الله
حي على الصلاة
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله
حي على الصلاة
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله
حي على الفلاح
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله
حي على الفلاح
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله
الله أكبر الله أكبر
الله أكبر
لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله سيدنا محمد رسول الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة صلاة الآن آتي محمد الرسول فلما بعثه ما غاب للذي واتاك إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. Grown up boys, go down with Ali, not the kids. Said go. Go on. Eh? You go. I want, yes, you too. Wasim, go. Go, wudu. Just go. Demonstrate.
Anybody else need to make wudu before prayer?
Just go. Just
Okay, that's it.
Ahmed, carry this. Video down there.
No. You guys go sit down.
Everybody else can sit down.
Stop.
We don't want many people back here.
Let's just go downstairs this way. Thanks. Yeah, it's alright. Don't worry about it.
First, and then like before you get into the bathroom, you have to say, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna like translate it from Arabic to English because like I'm still like working on my own Arabic English translation. Yeah, because like I'm just like memorizing it right now in Arabic, and then later on I can work on the translation. Okay.
What? No. She goes. Okay. All right.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We have a group with us that's joining us today from St. Mark's. And they're gonna be watching us make a prayer. The actual prayer doesn't come in for another hour plus, so we're gonna do an example of the prayer and an example of the calling to prayer. So I was just, at this time, what we normally do as we come in for prayer and get ready to prepare for prayer, it would usually start with a call to prayer. So Ahmed,
Yeah.
I was hoping maybe you can call what is called like an adhan, and that's like a call to prayer. This is not that actually, this is a call, this is like a sample, like a demonstration of the call to prayer. And afterwards, Ali? Yes, then we're going to break into a wudu, and Ali can take a group of males to go down and instruct them how to do the wudu. Ali, you can do that. And Asia can take a group of ladies down and get ready to prepare for prayer, which is called wudu, which is the wudu you take before prayer. And we're gonna limit the youngsters from like going up and down right now. So they've already performed it. So we're just gonna have a couple of the older teenagers go down and prepare for prayer right now. So are there more people you're expecting? Pretty good. Okay. So as we can begin now with the call to prayer, and then if we can just respectfully be quiet and listen, and then we can afterwards we can break up into the groups and begin to the process, and then we'll go into question and answer after we perform. After we come back from performing the wudu, we'll come back and actually do like a shortened prayer, and we'll break into a question and answer after. So again, welcome.
سيدنا محمد رسول الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة صلاة الدعوة آتي محمد الرسول فلي وبوسه ما قبل للذي واتى إنك لا تخلف. Grown up boys, go down with Ali, not the kids. Said go. Go on. Eh? Yo, go. I want, yes, you too. Wasim, go. Go, wudu. Just go. Demonstrate.
Anybody else need to make wudu before prayer?
Just go. Just to
Okay, that's it.
Ahmed, carry this. Video down there.
No. You guys go sit down.
Everybody else can sit down.
Stop.
We don't want many people back here. Stop.
Let's just go downstairs this way. Thanks. Yeah, it's alright. Don't worry about it.
First, and then like before you get into the bathroom, you have to say, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna like translate it from Arabic to English because like I'm still like working on my Arabic English translation here because like I'm just like memorizing it right now in Arabic, and then later on I can work on the translation and know the meaning and all that stuff. Like Allahumma, and then you step out with your right foot, and then you come in here. You guys can come in.
Step on with your left foot. Go ahead.
So that's where the men do it.
Step on with your left foot. Step in with your left foot.
Hey, no, and first thing you say is Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You say that first, and then you wash your hands first, and then you say it again. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You wash your hands second time. You say it for the third time. You wash your hand again, and then the next part you wash your mouth 3 times. And then the next one after that, you clean your nose. You wash your nose 3 times. And then you wash your face 3 times, which is like from here, like the circle, right? You just wash your face 3 times. And then you wash your right arm 3 times. Just like one hand washes the other, that's just how you go, one hand wash. And then you use your right hand, wash your left arm 3 times, from like right here to like your elbow right here. From here to here, you wash your left arm 3 times.
What is the symbolism of 3, if I can ask?
I rated them all.
Okay.
Like, Mom, do you know like why do we wash our hands 3 times? Like,
I don't know. I don't know, but like it's 3 times, but
like yeah, most of the
yeah, I don't
in
know.
the Quran, most of the things we do is like it's like 3 tries basically.
Yeah, it's like 3 of something and 3 of this, 3 of that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And then after that, you wash your hands. If you see someone perform wudu, many people do it many different ways. Like the next part I'm about to do right now, like for me, I do like this. Put some water in my mouth and then go down like this, and then back up like this. 1, and then spit it out, and then wash my ear. And then you don't have to wipe your face back. Or I do that sometimes, but like you just have to like wash your head 1 time, wash your ear 1 time, and then you're done with that. And then you wash your right leg from like about right here to like down here, and then like you wash your left from like right here till like the whole thing. And then after that, just grab a little bit of water, and then say you recite Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم اجعلني من التوابين واجعلني من المتطهرين واجعلني من عبادك الصالحين. Like, I don't know the translation for you right now, but like I'm just like working on the memorization of it. But later on I also hope to like know the translation from Arabic to English and stuff like that, but like I just know how to do it right now. So then when you're done with that, you're basically done, and then you just walk up to the Masjid.
With your right foot.
With your right foot.
Step up with your right foot here.
Yeah.
And step up.
Khadijah, isn't that your job?
Yeah.
You want to pick it up, please?
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, you just walk up to the Masjid.
Yeah, you just walk up to the Masjid, is all.
Thank you.
Yep.
This one's supposed to be equal, so you're not doing nothing. Oh,
You taking pictures?
it's your business.
The prayers are in Arabic, but as we're not native Arabic speakers, none of us here are native Arabic speakers. We say the prayer in Arabic, but we recite it. The meaning is in our own. We recite the meaning either in English. We have French speakers here, so they may be saying it. Though they may say it in Arabic, they may be interpreting it in French, or they're interpreting it in English as what it means. So the meaning is more important. Not more important, but the meaning is very important as well. But you can see the beginning of the prayer. Oh, exalted are you. First in Arabic, Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa tabarak ismuka wa ta'ala jaduk wa la ilaha ghayr. This is glory to you, O Allah. And by your praise and by your majesty. And there's nothing worthy of worship except you. And then we go, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge with you, O Allah, from the rejected Satan. And then we go into the prayer, which is the most common prayer throughout the whole world, the Muslim world. Everyone learns the prayer of the opening chapter of the Quran. And then we go on to recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, with the name of the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. And we say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. That's all the praise belongs to Allah, God, the Lord of all the worlds. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, the one who's, the one who the benefactor, the one we all benefit from, and the one who redeems us and has mercy. We come to him for his mercy. So then we say Maliki Yawmiddin, which is the master of the day of judgment. We believe in Islam that there's a day of judgment, and we'll stand before God, and God is the master of that day. And then it goes along, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. You alone, God, we worship, and you alone we seek help. And then Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. We're asking for guidance on the straight way. We're not, we're asking to be on a straight path. We want to be right. We want to be on the right way. We don't want to be astray. We don't want to be lost. And then we say, then we go on, Sirat al-ladina an'amta alayhim, the path in which that have bestowed your favors. We want to be on the path. We don't want to be on the path of destruction. We want to be on the path of God's mercy and the goodness that God gives. This is what we're asking for in our prayer. And then we say, Ghayril mahdubi alayhim waladdallin, the path, not the path that have received your anger, your wrath, but the fact that, and who have gone astray. We don't want to go that way. We want to go the way of those who are on the straight path. And that's the first opening chapter of the Quran, in which is commonly followed throughout the whole Muslim world. Everyone prays the same in Arabic, and it's the same prayers throughout the world. And so hopefully that's the core. Not to make insignificant the rest of the prayer, but that's the core of the prayer and every prayer that we pray. Any other questions?
So if you are praying 5 times a day, would you pray the same, or do you take different parts?
The opening, which I said is the opening, that is the same, but we can pick different selections from the Quran and different choices of chapters that we could recite. It's just not, and they have a couple chapters here that are actually here in the Quran. surahs, chapters in the Quran that we could that are recited. This is a very short one after Fatiha. It says recited surah after Fatiha, and this is an example of another short surah. But it could be many other. There are 114 of them. You have a question or something?
Throughout the day, our prayers are different surahs. The morning prayer is only 2 rakat, so we did what we pretty much just did. The second and third one are 4 rakat. And then the one after the dark is only 3. So we would go down and get up, and then the second time we would go down like how we ended the first what we just did.
I think. So are you saying our prayer is just limited to this just throughout the day 5 times? We can pray and turn to God any time of the day and ask like for individual prayer outside of the prayers that are 5 times a day. Those are not the only times we can turn to God and pray. We can, if we're just in our car, or if we throughout the day, if we just want to say a short prayer, we can either recite some of the Quran, or we can say an individual prayer from our heart. If we're in a time of distress or whatever, because we believe that God hears our prayer. One of the parts of the prayer actually says "Sami Allahu liman hamidah," which means God is a hearer and listeners. He listens to all of our prayers. So that's a part of our prayer that we pray 5 times a day. But that means we can turn to Him anytime, anywhere, and He's listening when we turn to Him and pray.
Also, we did the azan and the individual prayers. You don't need azan. You can set up your how do you call it, your computer and set it up just to remind you, just a reminder to come to prayer. We only do the the second one the gentleman did.
Salahuddin.
Salahuddin stand up. He did it. That's you have to get ready for prayer. To do that. The azan is called because many years back, or other areas where Islam is practiced, which is considered a major religion, people are busy doing stuff. So when you hear the azan, is to get yourself prepared to come and join the group. Right. The group prayer is considered to have like 100%. Doing it individually is like having half of it, but it depends. So that's why we group together. And because I don't know for whose sake Allah will accept the prayer as well. So the group prayer will like this congregation, that's what we call congregational prayer. So you see every Friday people go to the mosque, join together and pray. Any questions? Give the guest the house. Any questions?
In the wudu, what is the significance of the three times washing and the left foot and the right foot? Is there a significance?
Yeah. The wudu, because as it said, because when you do it 3 times, there will be no spot remaining that the water has not touched. So just by rubbing it once, because you're using your palm, so it's a tradition those days. But we follow it because it's never been said not to continue.
Yeah, it's just 3 times, just to making sure it's washed. I mean, once you might just kind of, just to make sure you're taking your time and washing it. Just to, you do it once, you kind of just can be doing it kind of fast and kind of going. But like if you're doing it 3 times, you're just making sure you kind of have to take your time and make sure it's done properly. You're doing it 3 times and just making sure. And one hand washes it, just making sure you're washing the other side and not just kind of throwing it on your body. Just making sure you're going through your wudu properly, like you said. Just making sure. There's some parts of the world, where there may not be water. There may be times where there's no water, and there's different types of wudu. Another part of wudu is called a dry wudu, where there's no water. It's called tayammum. Like say if you're in the desert, or if you're in a part of the world or somewhere where there's no water, you can take dirt and strike it, and it could be done as a purification over your head and your ankles and your hands. It's just, it may seem as if you're making yourself dirty, and it may defeat the purpose of cleaning yourself, but actually it's just symbolic of a purification as well.
Is there a prayer that goes with wudu, or is that just only
It's not a prayer, but in the tradition of Prophet Muhammad, it's recommended to say When you complete, before the prayer, before the wudu, you say, Bismillah, in the name of God, the most merciful.
Yeah, you say,
And then you begin the wudu. And when you're done, as you say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan rasulullah, which would mean there's nothing worthy of worship except God alone, and then Muhammad is his messenger. After the wudu would be, and that would be after the wudu, but there's no specific prayer for wudu, just for wudu. Just a reminder to do it in the name of God. You know, just not just a reminder in the name of God, do this in the name of God. And afterwards, to remind that there's nothing worthy of worship except God.
The wudu is so important, and because if you read the Bible, Moses get close to, when he was getting close to God, the light that they call it a small fire bush, they told him to move his shoe, not to get closer. We believe, and I said, that if you're getting close to God, you have to purify yourself. So it's a matter of, it's a sign of purification. You know, it's not like human beings, like we touch each other, whatever. God is sacred. You know, so whatever you have, even the Quran itself, before you touch it, you have to perform wudu. You have to be pure. It is written inside. La yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun. No one should touch it except if you're pure. And women, too, they don't pray. You can explain that to the woman side. Who cannot pray? Women pray certain times, they don't pray certain times. Can the sister dwell on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, just for sake of shyness, she's explaining that during times of the menses, not to like perform the prayer sequence during the time of the menses, or reading of the Quran, but actually, you know, it doesn't mean you cannot pray to God. Like I said, have an individual prayer and then have a spiritual moment and then do what we call a dua. You can make these short prayers or personal prayers, but the actual sequence of prayer, it's relieved and you're not forced to during that time. You don't have to. You're not supposed to during that time.
Once you complete your,
But once it's complete, you know, to go back and forth and continue to participate in the prayer.
That's just the fasting.
Yeah. Same with fasting as well. We fast the month of Ramadan, and women are exempt from fasting during the time of their menses during the month, and they're exempt from fasting and praying during the menses as well. But again, once the menses are complete, they would have a wash your hands, go ahead and commence fasting and praying as well. But again, it doesn't make you exempt from getting closer to God,
Yep.
having remembrance of God. It doesn't mean they have times of remembrance that you can remember God all throughout the day, no matter what, 24/7. But it's less of the obligation to have to join that with a prayer. It's somewhat of a mercy.
Yes?
What age do you start? feel? I mean, what are your feelings about witnessing it? Is it, any questions or statements?
It actually, parts of it resonate as, the English parts resonate as familiar.
Yeah.
Really, like in terms of like in Psalms and the Old Testament.
Yeah.
And it's just in terms of the motions of the prayer. It just does not seem that foreign. It seems very natural and very almost familiar to me, which is interesting. As Tim said, we had learned today, and previously in one of our classes, how similar, there's a lot of parallels, obviously, in our religions. And it's more people need to know.
Yeah, and one of the ways, is to come and ask questions and kind of come in and ask and see what is it that you say in prayer? What is it that you do in prayer? Yeah. I think it's significant to, when you see so much on the news, and you see so much other things that are not the core of the religion, it's good to kind of come and see for yourself and ask questions and witness for yourself and see what do Muslims really say when they pray? What are they praying to? What is this all about? And I think, like you said, it's more common than for most people.
One of the things that struck us, when we were just learning about the religion and learning about the history, is there is a very big difference between politically what happened and the religion. I mean, they are just, it just seems.
It's a big difference. Similar.
And they're misunderstood because they're so, what's the word? Because people think that they're the same.
Right. Well, that's similar to Judaism.
Yeah.
What you see. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But the Quran talks about it from Noah up to Muhammad, up to Jesus Christ, and all the other prophets. So it talks about the Bible, the Zabur, all of those books. It's like a compilation, it's complete. As far as Islam is concerned, it concluded the message. He even the Quran even talks about the coming of Christ as well. So everything is embedded in there. All you have to do is to go in there and do more reading and more research, then you can enlighten yourself. But we believe in one God also. He's invisible. We cannot see him. He can see us at any time. And anyway, it's closer to even, according to the Quran, than your veil, which is going here. So anywhere you are, God is with you at all times. So you have to be conscious of God every moment, even if when you're going to bed and when you wake up and you surround you.
I just want to know what similarities, because I remember you mentioned about similarities. What similarities did you see?
I mean, just our conversations of the one God, the merciful, we believe the same, and then we're all to treat each other well, no matter what your true beliefs are, who you are. If you treat others the way you expect to be treated, it's the way the earth will continue. It's the way we continue to love each other. And so, the things that we learn as novices about the way you practice really resonated, at least with me. Again, like I said earlier, just sitting down, having a conversation in your environment, I think speaks volumes, and I appreciate that. And you're always welcome, and I think I can speak for our community, you're always welcome at St. Mark's. If you'd like to explore.
That would be cool, yeah.
Just kind of glad too to see that the younger generation actually can see it and listen to it instead of going by what some of the older generation is just witness for yourself.
I also learned that controlling the Sunday school is the same no matter where you
The gentleman had said what similarities are. One of the things that I know from before when I came here is that there's actually more about Mary in the Quran than there is in the New Testament. I really admire that because I feel particularly close to her. But one of the things too is that the similarity with kneeling when you're doing a prayer, when you're really humbling yourself and you're
say right now. Yeah, I remember that.
Another thing that is similar is we have, there's a tradition in the Christian faith that's called praying between the hours. And we actually pray in the morning at noontime, in the afternoon, evening, and then possible, late at evening. And it's called praying the hours, and it falls along the same time.
Now, are there any exceptions for women? Time that women don't pray? Because you did mention that women don't pray at certain time. Is there any time?
No, we don't have anything like that.
What specific denomination? Is it just, is it Catholic? No. Episcopalian.
We're Episcopalian, which is, it's kind of, it came from the Church of England. So, it's Protestant.
Yeah, okay.
It's not Catholic, it's Protestant.
Okay.
But it's very liturgical, which means that it's very ritual, kind of a lot of pageantry.
Okay. Yeah.
Lots of kneeling, we kneel like the Catholics do, but I don't know of many other Christian faiths that kneel like quite exactly like Episcopalians do.
Okay.
And we're very open in terms of other religions and gay marriage and women.
So, do you believe in hell and fire?
Well, see, what's really neat is also the Episcopal faith is, and I'm just speaking for myself and as much as I can, and others, is we also allow the interpretation to be personal. There are some people that actually believe heaven and hell are a place. There's some people that believe heaven and hell are a condition, that hell is being separated from God and heaven is being with God. And then there's some that believe that, there's a dance. It's just it's the Episcopal faith allows the person to decide. I mean, there's some Christian faiths that say you believe that there really is a heaven and hell, or you believe that it's just for, not real.
So that means it's life after death, right? You believe in life after death? Resurrection. Any questions from you guys? Ahmed?
They're at the end of their day. They know it's 1 o'clock now. Parents will be coming in anytime now. They're at the end of their day.
So how long have they been, this is the religious education fee?
Yes.
Yes.
So how long have they been here?
They've been here since 10 o'clock, a little bit. Yeah, 10. Start at 10 and they go to 3. It's just for 3 hours.
And we have stages, standard, then second level, third level, fourth level. You have to know the characters and know them, identify them, just like the ABC. Then we put them together. Later on we add vowels to sound. Then we pronounce. From pronunciation, while you pronounce it, you learn the meaning. Because the meaning is already written in English. Well, there is no true meaning for some of the Arabic words, So we try to make sure we get close not to alter. For the danger, as we say, of saying something that altering the meaning of the word itself lead to considered denial. So we have stages like the little ones here, my daughter Salima is there. They can say the characters.
Muhammad is our Quranic teacher. So he teaches the Quran. He's speaking of the Quran and the letters and the stages of learning the Quran.
The brother has a question.
What does state? I grew up Christian. I studied Jehovah's Witness for 3 years. And when I started, my uncle was a Muslim. And he always tried to get me to understand Islam, but I just wasn't registering for it. So later on in life, I came across some Muslims, and once I started reading the Quran,
with your own image, you know, and you will see that how much more, I mean not how much more, but how similar all this comes and connects together. Jesus, Mary, Zechariah, John the Baptist, all this is in the Quran. But people think that, well, I thought that this had nothing to do with Christianity, this has nothing to do with Jehovah's Witnesses. And this experience that this in Arabic is all connected, it's just really amazing. So I encourage you guys to get the Bible, get the Quran and see the similarities. Just you'll be amazed at how all this connects. It's not different, it's all one.
We're just gonna have just a couple more questions. Just a couple more questions in there because it's time for parents are getting ready to come in. They're coming in now, and we're just gonna have a couple more questions, and we're gonna have to wrap it up because I know parents are waiting to pick up their children. So one more question. Yeah. Okay. Say.
Yeah. There was another thing I wanted to add was because my dad was talking more about like the study of Arabic. Well, at the Sunday school we have both. We have Islamic studies and we have Arabic. And like the Islamic studies, you learned about like the history of Islam, and you learn things about Islam, kind of like you study the Quran. And Arabic, in the Arabic studies class, it's more about learning to read Arabic and learning to read from the Quran. So you have like 2 classes here.
Okay, one more and then we'll wrap it up.
I've been actually to the, I think it's Saturday morning, I think so, early in the morning. What other, so do you have times that people from outside of the immediate intimate community can come and sit with you and to learn? Are you still having the
Saturday mornings at sunrise?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's called like a halakha, like a study time. Yep, and that's
what time is that?
That's at 6 o'clock. That's at 6 o'clock every Saturday morning. That's a little tough, but we do have other ones. There's different. I know there's like a sisters class, and they have like a brothers different classes. I don't know exactly outside of the Saturday morning. I know there was one at Friday evenings. Friday evenings at 6:30, I believe. They was having one Friday evening at 6 o'clock, and then there's one during the week. I don't know exactly when. And there's separate times. I know the sisters, I believe, have one. There's there's a group, male study group that's going to start now. They're not downstairs. There's a male study group that comes in. If you're interested and would like to study, you're more than welcome. Yeah, well, the sisters, and I know the one in the morning. I think it's just brothers too. So, but yeah, the difference. And I think we have some flyers for different study classes and study times as well. You know, but are there any more questions? I know we have one more. Okay. But does anybody have any more? Because I know we have parents, and I know we have to get going.
Okay, before we go, I just want to mention, prayer is so simple. See the whole congregation? You can lay on your bed, you pray. It all depends on condition. It's not something you are forced to going up and down if you're not well. If like disabled, there are provisions also made. So you don't have any excuse to say I cannot pray. So I want you to have that in mind. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you all.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. دار البلاغ للإنتاج والتوزيع تقدم
اللهم انفعنا وارفعنا بالقرآن العظيم الذي أيدت سلطانه وقلت يا أعز من قائل سبحانه فإذا قرأناه فاتبع قرآنه ثم إن علينا بيانه أحسن